Hey everybody, Sean from Media Assault here, and I wanted to get another movie review online for you. This time out, I'm going to do a review of X-Men First Class, which I just saw tonight at the local theater. And this is a film that was directed by Matthew Vaughn, and it was based on a story that was written by Bryan Singer and a few other people. And if you know your X-Men movie history, you know Bryan Singer was the director of the first two X-Men films in 2000 and 2003 respectively, and I consider those to be the best of the four X-Men films that came out prior to X-Men First Class. And it's just interesting to see that Singer has returned, although not in a directorial role. He's a producer here, but he was responsible for at least coming up with the main storyline, if not the actual script of this film. And it's nice to see his involvement in the series once again, although this particular movie is not supposed to be considered a prequel as much as it is a reboot of the series. So there are a lot of people who have been kind of miffed and concerned and pissed off about all these continuity problems between this film and the previous four X-Men films, that being X-Men X2, X-Men The Last Stand, and X-Men Origins Wolverine. There are quite a few continuity problems between this film and those four films, and the reason why is because this is a reboot of the series. So, a lot of people in this movie, most of which you probably wouldn't recognize their names. James McAvoy is in this. He plays Charles Xavier, of course, Professor X in a younger version. This film is set in 1962, by the way. We also have Michael Fassbender, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He was in Inglourious Basterds. He plays the young Eric Lensher, who of course becomes Magneto. Kevin Bacon, of course, everybody knows who he is. He's in this film. He plays Sebastian Shaw. Jennifer Lawrence, who I believe was up for an Academy Award recently, and I apologize, I have not done a whole lot of research on her. She's in the film, and she plays the character of Raven, who becomes, of course, Mystique later on. Actually, in this film. A couple of cool things about this movie. And I'm not going to summarize the plot too much other than to say it does give you an idea of how the X-Men came to be, and it is set against the backdrop of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. So there's a really cool 1960s atmosphere to this film. It starts off almost like a James Bond film. There was a lot of times in the beginning of the film where I thought it was kind of paying an homage to the Bond movies. That sort of falls apart as the movie progresses, but the movie does have a really cool 1960s feel. Good performances by everybody involved, particularly Michael Fassbender as Magneto and Kevin Bacon as Sebastian Shaw. He's really hamming it up, and he seems to have found a niche playing these villain characters. He did earlier this year in James Gunn's Super. He did a great job as a villainous character in that film, and he does the same in X-Men First Class. He's having a ball, and it's pretty obvious that he's enjoying himself. The special effects in this film are good. They are not fantastic. It is CGI heavy, and of course a movie like this probably needs to be, but you know, if you've watched my videos and my videos, you know I'm not a big fan of huge doses of CGI, but in this case, for most of the effects, it's warranted, and it looks pretty good. About on the par with Thor from earlier this year. My only complaint with this movie, really, is that Beast looks terrible. He looks like a bad Halloween costume, and I think he deserved better. The character is handled okay, I guess. Some of the lines that he has are kind of groan-worthy. But just when he finally makes the transformation into the full Beast getup, it looks pretty bad. But that's really the only complaint I have about the movie. It is long. It's over 2 hours, but it's not too long. There's enough action to keep you interested throughout the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. I was really hoping for the best. I have not been impressed by the last two X-Men films. Didn't like Last Stand very much, and didn't like Origins Wolverine all that much. But I did like the first two, X-Men and X2. This is on a par. I would say quality-wise it falls somewhere between the original X-Men film and X2. I didn't like it as much as X2, but I did like it better than the original X-Men film from 2000. So definitely go out and see it. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. So that tells you how much I really liked X2. So yeah, go out and see X-Men First Class. It's probably so far the best film of the summer. We'll see how it stands up to Super 8, which I am planning to see this weekend, and we'll see. But so far the winner is X-Men First Class. So go out and see it, enjoy yourself, and don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe. And as always, feel free to comment and rate on this video or any of the other ones I have posted. So thanks again for watching, everybody. Take it easy.